say Prophet Kofi Oduro or trend den pa ewo Ghana hanum say now recently ebetoja say eye akosomo dam no eja to eye station no emu some section any ade ema just kania entimi nyina so ewo krodwemu na Ghana fo chema we Dumsor 2.0 and I experience wo krodwemu na no and a Prophet Kofi Oduro ababe kasa e dia found na nsem wo de to Ghana man fo chim say so for we sebe oye nya atwon papa hypocrite esan say die ebiesi pen emrebi etwemu ensem wo kan ye ne de wo kan sese no different na o ma expect say so for nimpom a obetimi ababontene abeka ensem bi say sebe ye gitumu a enye because very disgraceful and hypocritical of him. Now yenti ensem a so for Kofi Oduro ko kan ya ne Ghana fo bibiri etwe ne sani abasa wo internet no eso
obo ye nyame adwuma na nyam kwase adwene ha minima de kro and na de me kan ye nya atenie Romans chapter 1:21 the Bible said wo madwene ye nkwase adwene na manipa adwene sa ya nkwase adwene say kan ye dum eja ye obi aka na no atum kwase adwene na ba me na adan madu ya gada nkwase adwene na ye sa adwuma no akosombo ahye ama nipa ye huru baby a obia mbo adime angasa momia mompa yese akosombo no ahye no eniema be kama kwasi adwen keka wunim de ya wo fie wono eye kura wo ye electrician ba no be fa cable so de ye adwuma prekopa na kanea no so na pese ye na ga na baby akanea ko baby ya. Tell me, Senyan Guasia, Jackie, baby, the gata. I didn't tell Matuaba. Do to a benti a baby say I in CSO. Edian Guasia, no. Politicians in the Muslim and Nimuntiminka we injure them. Edian Guasia, what to a benti a Yentiminka Sanjira was a someone who came and 5 dream him who be prepared through po. Aqua Resa cable no asheno, who bet me the Fufraco join Aqua connect. What you will be papa no who to fear na wounds and Timika and all that kind of thing. Number General Cajos and Guasia, I was a 1 tears. Amen. Amen. Yeba afufro ahankasa kane ano enyina so ye current no form low. First yeba ha ye so generator air conditioner enye adwuma also iron enye adwuma ena awrade adomoma be pija yin mu kakra maye. Even though still ye so screen ya ema enom ne ade ni na ye kane asem ya. But ye nim se enchenche wona frifrisi ye ba ha no na kane akura ye de kasa no ibini ho. Iti ada na wo no you cannot be able to understand. Sa adwene no iti ye ne pastor Paul nyame de odom.
Prophet Kofi Oduro so for penia wodai Alabasta International Church ano N19 sema wodi tu dwana che so twema kane na enyina so edundum presso no Ghana fo bebre yetimi kwan be ka say Dumsor abani ade nso enei aise be na mienu miensanyi no Dumsor na akofem montimi ema bontene emme acknowledge say ampa the energy minister John Jinapo what you say oyo amade okan ye no waye ne pepepe e de Ghana fo ene emu amunim Prophet Kofi Oduro ene ode ne nsema atodwa ebi no che say asema okan ye ne de omumfo ano so fu panimu a ase o take sides ene ade eba no politics emu ebi so che say asem no kra ho a ye nto sebe enti se waka no kra no a ena waka no mo amonti ase no go and bend the sea asem na ena wakane there is nothing hypocritical about osofo ne nsema where they etudwa ne nyina mu no NDC amanyuko ni mu mpanimfo nso ababonten abekasa efa kania nsema mu chemu se kania issue wi aye koba so mu kase Mahama de ade ebetimi de susu no de atoto ne ho Dumsor no hu Mahama no hu Dumsor no enye no kre isan se the NPP for ye energy sector ni mu no omu kaso omu bo hu de wura enye ne ena Ghana for omobeti ehumpa ni nsem sanse NPP for wo modi Ghana for dem papa energy sector ni wa wo mo ebiebie niema ba ko ani so amafo chim se So we no credit any NPP for they have a lot to explain to Ghanaians. And one means 2028 cra omo contest elections to think say omo the candidates ebeba say na omo dey nsem no etuja.
When we came into government, the whole of 2024, and I've sent you the document. This is data. This is not what I am saying.
Yeah.
This is not what John Darko is saying. This is what the data is from Gridco. Every single month, we're shedding load in 2024. In January, off-peak, we're doing 38 megawatts. Peak time, we're doing 389 megawatts. In February, we're doing 705. February 2024, we're doing 705 megawatts of peak. Peak time, we're doing 473. In March, the same. All the way. September, we're doing 480 peak. October, we're doing 400. November, we're doing 507. December, we're doing 720 megawatts of load shedding. And so at a time where we're calling for timetable, and if you remember the popular phrase of go and prepare your own timetable, it was because we're shedding load. It wasn't because you had enough to generate, but you are having distribution challenge. Those are two different issues. If you have distribution challenges, of course, it means that you've generated the power, but because of a particular challenge, you've transmitted the power, but you cannot get the power to the end user. But what we're dealing with in 2024, they couldn't even generate at all. And there were a number of issues that they were dealing with.
And they were deceiving
And they were deceiving. That was why at the time, Ghanaians were asking for timetable and consistently mentioned. There were fuel challenges. They couldn't procure liquid fuel. They didn't have enough natural gas to be able to power our thermal plants. And so those were the problems we're dealing with. Upon assumption of office, what did this government do? The government took an entire review of the power sector together with civil society group. And I will thank Mr. Bemboache as well. He offered his expertise. And at every point when we've called him as a ministry, he's offered it. So we looked at the entire chain, the structural problems from transmission, from generation, from distribution, finance as well. And then you look at how you'll be able to deal with all the problems that we had. What did we do? The first thing is that you have a generation issue. We looked at how we close the generational gap. And so the beginning of 2025, when we took over, in January, we shedded load of 270 megawatts in 2025. In February, we did 203 megawatts. In March, we did 211. Since that time, April till today, we've practically not shedded any load when it comes to generation, except for last week when we had the issue with Akosombo. And I'll take my time to go through what we did. The first issue was that we had so much debt in the sector. We had cumulative overall, you look at about 80 billion cedis in debt. Debt to IPPs, debt to fuel supplies, debt to state institutions. And so the minister constituted a committee to renegotiate with IPPs. That committee was chaired by our own Mr. Bemboache, and they did a very good job. They had the renegotiations with the IPPs. The first thing is that the money that we owed them, physical cash, they were able to renegotiate to get a reduction of $252 million. And so monies we owed them, these IPPs graciously took a haircut and they discounted it for us. The second one is that the tariffs that they were charging itself, they managed to get the IPPs to be able to reduce those tariffs. In fact, there were IPPs who were doing about 20 cents per kilowatt hour that eventually ended up doing 6.5 or 7. That's significant reduction. And that's why I give the committee all the thumbs up for what they did for government at the time.
One of the concern the Honorable Collins raised was that you have
for the communications team member Edema NDC Amanyukuno and watch him say load shedding I can one seminar can you dundumen because of that Dumsor abani and then what him say you show one NPP for a pain a swebra na napo the energy minister no there was a time you coach here na no busan say honorable Dumsor abana and was Dumsor aba yenko timetable no and no one which them say sabre no na niema jinsem ankasa NPP fo hu said ombe kan okra ne dia che Ghana for but omo de no kra mo kan so mo ba ye nyina no kania no emma issues bia until recent year akoso mo ko hye and afi 1 or 2 e ka bia e de da hono ma na e ha adwene ntentumi e ma omu entumi makania 247 no omati committee ama committee na atena so issue no has been solved and no any nsem asese omu dia to dwa but they just say as at now if NDC is still blaming the former government for a year the energy crisis a faces say there now after 2025 one better so 2026 year middle of the year nessa na mugusu blame NPP dia na edwuma na mo ye no e kwan ben so e na mo ye no now the MD for ACG Ignatius Julius Pekpena what in similar babetudja efa the current issues and as conditions of the ECG needs into which I say we have enough power to give our consumers in say we chairman say no Dumsor again kania no ebegina so 247 na embo neni ba ku say kuna no blinks ni nyina ne say they've worked so hard just say na abrantie no echire mu no oma ye adwuma den pa se be yan kania nsem a ekoso kroma amanfo chem se Mahama ni Dumsor de omte 5 and 6 no omo betimi aso sa kania ensem ewo Ghana akrodue mu hanum se itin prempren de anything that concerns light issues ni kania wonsem ne de NDC for echema womo etimi ape anopuma sibrea se nkania no eba begina so bi ayeyi Ashanti region free one regions na kani nyina no would have a stable light. Now moving on nsem fufra ekoso ewo Ghana hanum say dia na chese ye kwa kopie the camp of the two major political parties ewo Ghana